Today, a soldier sees a snapshot of the terrain. A pilot, an image of the airspace. The commander, a view of the mission. But they're all part of a bigger picture. That's why Boeing is helping create a remarkable network to gather and analyze data from every source, then deliver the right information instantly. So the bigger picture is a safer world. Boeing, forever new frontiers.
You talk too much. I can't believe the things that you say.
Mike DeWine, Sherrod Brown,
John Murtha,
Joe Biden,
Richard Lugar, Chris Dodd, Dan Bartlett,
Dan Bartlett, Jane Harman, Newt Gingrich. They left him as the head of the Congressional Caucus dealing with exploited children. No second thoughts about that?
Well, you could have second thoughts about it, but I think had they overly aggressively reacted to the initial round, they would also have been accused of gay bashing.
As a parent and a grandparent, that we need to do more to create a comfort level for those parents who are sending young pages, children under 18, to serve in the House.
I think they have to get into this. They have to call people in. They have to call these pages in. They have to look at these emails, see who knew when, and they have to hold them responsible.
If, in fact, that was the case, somebody was derelict.
Well, they will have to speak for themselves. I would just say simply that what has occurred is just as terrible as is being suggested. There needs to be clearly protection.
What is troubling here is the point that Congresswoman Pelosi has raised, and that is that people knew about this. We saw examples of this, as a Catholic, I say, we saw examples of this in the Catholic Church not that long ago, where hierarchy and the Church neglected to pursue these matters.
Reporters come in with conclusions or some firm ideas about where they want to take a book. And on certain occasions, when he met with administration officials, and they would come to talk to me about their meetings with him, there was just a sense that despite spending hours with him, that their points weren't getting across. So you thought and that's Secretary Rice's view, that type of urgent request to go after bin Laden, as the book alleges, in her mind didn't happen. We recognize that he's made some very difficult decisions. Some people don't like his bedside manner. But what President Bush looks to in Secretary Rumsfeld is to bring him the type of information he needs to make the right decisions in this war.
I looked at the president, I said, Mr. President, with all due respect, and I looked at the vice president, Mr. Vice President, I would call for your resignation as well, of where you're not a constitutional officer.
I mean, I think there's a genuine intellectual fight underway inside the government among professionals over the way ahead.
I tend to think all these things in this environment have impact, including this tape this week. I mean, I think this has both sides use these moments to power up their bases, to keep them active, to keep them interested, and both sides could use the woodwork just as they used these tapes this week.
I think we need to proceed in Iraq. What we do is we pressure, we force, we push the Iraqis to build the security forces. This man voted 10 separate times to cut our intelligence spending. The majority of those times...
Mike, you know better than that. You know better than that, Mike. You've been in the Senate for 12 years. You've been Ohio Senior Senator. You know better than making charges like that that are just unsubstantiated.
You're unbelievable again.
He approved an ad that showed, that doctored the picture of the World Trade Center. He also called 15 years ago, he said John Glenn was soft and communism. This is how he runs ads.
They aren't made in the picture, but there was no mistake in the fact. You're still not denying the fact.
I am starting to hear from Democrats who worry that having you as leader will send the wrong message. They point to your involvement in the Abscam scandal 2 decades ago. They also say you have a record of helping your brother's lobbying clients get government contracts.
25 years ago, they offered me money, and I said I didn't want the money. I wanted investment in my district. I had 24% unemployment. I take no back seat. My brother was treated like everybody else. We do it by the book. Everything we do in our office is by the book.
Who's going to win, Lieberman or Ned Lamont in your home state of Connecticut?
Well, it's going to be close. Live it that way.
Who do you want?
Well, I'm supporting Ned Lamont.
That must be so painful for you, given
Thank you for asking me that.
The tough, the very close relationship you've had with Joe Lieberman.
We're very good friends, but 145,000 Democrats on August 8th made a decision.
Have you concluded yet whether you're running for president?
I'm exploring it very thoroughly.
Sounds like you are.
Sounds like I am.
Okay.
I would like to place my order for the Chris Wallace action figure with the Kung Fu conservative smirk. I'll be able to use it with my Bill Clinton doll to reenact the exciting adventure. Denny, you need to get out more.
You talk too much. I can't believe the things that you say.
Imagination is the bridge to the future. Boeing, forever new frontiers.